So Parents of the Year here, we are not as conservative in some areas as some of our friends because
What do you mean by that?
we just left our kids with a random nanny. Very nice young lady is taking care of the kids for about 5 hours, and it gives us an opportunity to refresh.
Gonna go on, it's called Kauai ATV. There's mud, they give you like rental clothes, so that'll be kind of interesting to see.
It hasn't rained in a couple days, so we may not get that bad, but we're gonna check out some waterfalls and do some ATVing. So let's see how this goes.
Alright, there's no food on this tour, so we're gonna go hit up these food trucks, grab something to eat before we hit the ATVs. Hopefully everything settles well. Alright, this is my Thai fried rice with an aloha guava punch. Alright, and Sarah, what'd you get?
I got peanut noodles
Peanut noodles with shrimp.
and cashews on top.
Looks yummy. So we just got back from our ATV tour and it was a lot of fun. So just kind of recapping what we did. So we showed up to actually to like a food truck area that had their little office, and
Signed our Lifeway.
I didn't.
I signed his Lifeway.
So then we went from there to an old sugar plantation with some really janky directions. So it was kind of just go down the road past 2 stop signs and then keep going straight until it dead ends. They gave us some loaner clothes that were interesting. They felt really crusty. Mine did.
You didn't have to take them, but we were warned it could be bad.
We didn't get muddy as much as we got dusty.
Yeah, and there's the chance to get muddy, but I had this like 4 o'clock shadow.
All right.
Oh, we have 2. Hey.
Sarah is driving, so we'll see how this goes.
No,
at
I'm already
home.
sweating.
Yeah, so we loaded up on the ATVs. We ended up in the first position at the beginning
In car 1, too.
in car 1, and then took off. We made it to this really old tunnel that they dug, and they used it for a bunch of different sugarcane trucks.
There was one side of the island versus the other, and there was no way. It was like 12 miles round.
Interesting story is the workers that were working on that tunnel, a lot of them came from the Philippines. And at that point in the Philippines, 1940s, 1950s, a big thing was cockfighting. And that's where all the chickens that are on the island came from. They came here, and during a hurricane, all the cages got broken open.
Second stop was the waterfall, which was pretty cool.
Jumping in the water, it was fun. It wasn't as cold as I thought it was going to be. Like on Maui, we've done some swimming in Maui in rivers, and that water I just remember being a lot colder than the water at this place. I tried to walk up to where the top of the waterfall was because it almost looked like it was coming out of a cave, but I couldn't find it. I walked kind of in a trail on the side, and it ended up at a barbed wire fence. Like it was thick foliage and then just right into a fence.
They said this was towards the edge of the property that are only accessible.
The founder of AOL bought a lot of land that used to be a sugar plantation.
And it's not accessible unless you're on these approved tours.
We are inside a World War II bunker that is really small.
It's a lot smaller in there.
And it gets smaller.
Ooh.
Am I gonna fit?
Yes, you will. I'm just like Amelia.
So we just went into one bunker, and now we're getting ready to go into another. So
This one bigger, luckily.
this one's supposed to be bigger. The last one got really tight. So you can kind of see they're just hidden behind us in the jungle.
Some pretty interesting things. The guy had pulled out the rations cans that they would give them before getting in there.
There are a bunch of them burned too, because they were told to burn them before they left, and so you could see a bunch of those cans still in there that were all lit on fire.
Including a stack of saltines that were fried, like black.
If you guys take a quick 360 look around you, we are in a bowl type shape. This is the Kilohana crater, our active volcano here in Kauai. It's going to go off at any second. I'm totally just joking. Big Island is now the hot spot. Kauai is nowhere near it. Anyways, do you guys want to take a step?
We went to an area where they mostly filmed Jurassic Park. It's pretty close to where they filmed the opening sequences of Raiders of the Lost Ark.
They had some background
For the
images
first time, and they've seen those long-necked dinosaurs with Dr. Grantman.
Got a lot of different things. It's really neat though. It's just a beautiful area.
Right under the power system on Mount Haupu. They enter those gates and they come out through these fields. The gates are not there though. They are 13 miles away in Wailua. So they enter the gates in Wailua and they manage to end up 13 miles away in the field. Magic everywhere. Yeah, magic. And then same area there, the Gallimaima Stampede, where they jumped over the big white log, followed by the Gallimaima Stampede. If you guys look really close, there's the big white log still out there.
And so then after that, we drove down to a little reservoir. I don't really know why we stopped there.
because it was the largest reservoir in the state.
It seemed more like they needed an extra stop to get you to a full 4 hours. Look a little bit dirtier, but we had a lot of fun. I might hose off a little bit. They have some showers here.
I'm a little crunchy in the mouth.
Before we jump in.
It was really fun. It was a little less low-key than it could be because there wasn't mud, and I know some people are very cautious about it, but I had a great time. I wouldn't mind bringing the kids back.
We headed back, we paid our babysitter, and I highly suggest doing the ATV tours, Kauai ATVs. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. It was $270 for 1 or 2 people. It's the same price for either. Obviously only one gets to drive. But yeah, I don't think that was a bad price at all for a 4-hour trek. The places that we got to go, the things we got to see.
It was pretty. It was a good way to see the island. I highly suggest it too as a family event. And I didn't know that before. Honestly, right before we left, we were checking out what to pack, and it said passengers must be above 5 years old. So, I thought about how my 5-year-old would have done through the whole thing. I think it would have been great. Like I said, I fully intend to do it next time we come, when they're both over 5, just so we can take everyone. It was a fun little. It was rough. It was bumpy, but I highly recommend it too, especially as a family event. And that's not kind of what I booked it as.
Mm-hmm. So that's all we have on that, but we will be off doing some more stuff. Now we're getting ready to
go on
another adventure. So
try some food, look at some sunsets. Mahalo.